If you're using a chart of accounts that isn't customized to match what your business is, I can almost guarantee you that your profit and loss is lying to you. Here's how to fix that issue in just 5 minutes. Here is a chart of accounts designed for a landscaping company. I'm going to filter this by profit and loss accounts only. And now you can see that the only accounts showing up here are income accounts, cost of goods sold, and expenses. If there's any activity in the accounts that you have in your chart of accounts, they will show up when you pull a profit and loss report. Here we see design income $22.50 for January 1st through April 11th, 2026. And we can see that that's an income account that we have set up. If you're running a restaurant, chances are you're using the default chart of accounts, which has a bunch of unnecessary accounts set up for you. Luckily for restaurant owners out there, there is a very simple fix for this issue. This right here is a perfect example of how your restaurant chart of accounts should look. Generally speaking, most restaurants are going to have these 5 revenue accounts. These cost of goods sold accounts will be subtracted from your income on your profit and loss report and give you what your gross profit is. After you have your gross profit, your labor and operating expenses will be subtracted from that number to give you your net income, which is what a restaurant is truly making. On the QuickBooks sample company, Craig's Design and Landscaping Services, we can see the income here. We can see what our total income is. We can also see cost of goods sold getting subtracted from that total income to give us our gross profit. Next comes all our labor and operating expenses, which get subtracted from the gross profit to give you your net operating income. Finally, we subtract other expenses, which give you your actual net income. This $1,186 is what Craig's Design and Landscaping Services actually made between January 1st and April 11th of 2026. Instead of going through these accounts and figuring out which ones are good for you, which ones are not good for you, all you need to do is hit this box here, select all of your accounts except for one income account and one expense account, hit batch actions, and then click make inactive. Since this is a sample company, QuickBooks Online won't let me actually do this, but if you have a normal QuickBooks subscription, you will be allowed to. Once you've made all of those accounts inactive, all you need to do is have a template with these 3 columns: account name, type, and detail type. I will be leaving the link to this template in the description of this video so that restaurant owners out there watching can download this template. Once you have that template, download it onto your computer. All you have to do is hit this drop down next to new account and then hit import. Then you would just select the file from here and then hit next in the bottom right. Just like that, you will see your entire chart of accounts change from this big complicated mess with accounts that you don't even need into all accounts that are restaurant specific, perfect for your business. When this chart of accounts is wrong in QuickBooks, this profit and loss report is essentially useless. If you're missing even one of these cost of goods sold accounts or any others that are specific to your business, your profit and loss will simply not be accurate. You will not be able to tell what percentage of your revenue is going towards cost of goods sold, and therefore it will be harder to grow your business. I have personally seen restaurants with over 200 accounts in their chart of accounts, and I've also seen restaurants with maybe 10 accounts in their chart of accounts. Both of these restaurants are doing things wrong. Having a good chart of accounts is essentially like building a good foundation for your business bookkeeping. Every report that you pull, every decision that you make about your business will stem from how well you have this screen set up here. I cannot stress the importance of having a good chart of accounts enough. Similar to correctly reconciling your bank accounts, setting up a proper chart of accounts will save you from running into deeper issues later on. If your chart of accounts isn't a complete mess and you just need to add a simple account, you can do so by clicking this green button in the top right, New Account, and then filling out the details accordingly. So let's say I wanted to add a paper goods COGS account. All I would do was type paper goods into here, select cost of goods sold from the account type dropdown, and usually the detail type will autofill. You don't really have to worry about this detail type too much because this section doesn't show up on any financial reports, but the account name and the account type absolutely does. You don't need to fill out a description. All you have to do after entering the account type is hit save. And just like that, we now have a paper goods cost of goods sold account. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be making a sample journal entry that hits paper goods so you guys can see it show up on the profit and loss. So all I'm going to do here is debit paper goods. We're going to say we spent $300 on paper goods. Description is going to be purchase paper goods. And we're going to say that it came out of the checking account. So a credit to a bank account always means that you're spending money there. And then a debit to an expense account always means you're increasing that expense on your profit and loss. So before I save this journal entry, I want to revisit the profit and loss and show you guys that in the COG section, there is not a paper goods account. All we have is this default cost of goods sold account here. So once I go back to the entry and I hit save, journal entry 1 is saved. Now I can go back to my profit and loss. I can hit refresh here, and we should see paper goods showing up. Yep, here it is. We now know that our cost of goods sold number and our breakdown here is more accurate than if we didn't have a paper goods account created. Again, for restaurants, the goal is to have something that looks just like this. The easiest way to do this is to, again, download this template, which I will be putting in the description of this video, right to your computer and importing it directly into QuickBooks Online. Once you get your chart of accounts imported into QuickBooks Online, not only will your books look better, but you'll also be able to make better and more strategic financial decisions regarding your business. If you run into any issues while setting up your chart of accounts, visit shoreline.ops.com and hit book your free call. This will bring you to my Calendly link, and you can schedule a one-on-one call with me directly. At Shoreline Business Services, we are QuickBooks certified pro advisors who have years of experience in both public accounting and restaurant industry accounting. Stop guessing on your business's financial situation and learn where your finances actually lie. Visit shoreline.ops.com to book a free call today.